Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're new to my channel, I'm Aspie and I'm all about creating mental health and awareness versus sharing my life story with Asperger's syndrome, OCD and the like, so that you can get to know me more underneath these masks of diagnoses as a person, so that hopefully we can not prejudge and everything else. And I'm also basically hoping to become a mediator slash, like they call it, support person as much as possible for the ones that are struggling on the daily, so that I can give you my pills and advice, or tips and advice shall we say, as well as just encouragement and all that, so that you guys can hopefully feel the urge that there's something there that's important to you of everyday topics that you may struggle from, and that you can relate somehow one way or another. It's all about hopefully reaching out to one another and know that you guys aren't alone, because as I said before, so many times before, that some of the things that I've been through in my life are maybe similar to you guys, or vice versa, similar to me, but how I go about it may be different to you, but it's a matter of respecting one another, so bear with me and all that front. So no further ado, before I run out of time, just to give you a lowdown of what's happening. Basically, I'm doing the how-to series, basically guides for the autism or Asperger's syndrome and Autistic help central guides, or whatever you want to call it, playlistings. Some of the other bits and pieces that I'm hoping to address will come to light as well of the Asperger's syndrome and ADHD, and maybe some more of the dyslexia series of the learning disabilities, before hopefully reach base again to you all based on what I feel to share with you all. But hopefully later on this week I'll let you know on what's going on about my book, as I've promised so many times before, but it's taken a while, so I just humbly apologise. But I might do that as a 5-minute video challenge that I saw on Harry's channel, so, or as he's known as Groovy Ninja. So if you're watching this Groovy Ninja, I'll hopefully be able to do that 5-minute challenge without editing and everything else. It should be easy as for me, from what I can hopefully record what I need to do. So no further ado guys, basically this one is all about how to use calming techniques for help for autistics, but some of these calming techniques will help with everyday people with every other mental health disorders, and will that be anxiety, depression and the like. Hopefully just bearing that in mind, but this one is solely about for people that are autistic, and that also basically in this realm also some of the tips and advice I may give to you right now may not seem fit or appropriate to you, but respect it anyway. Take it or leave it. Some of the stuff that you may feel that of the warning signs or what have you, that you feel that you see in your family, friend, or even yourself, basically seek professional help or second opinion about everything, because like I said, some of these techniques may work for me but not for you, and vice versa, but it's just a matter of give and take, of respecting one another. So let's start this part of the series, which I'm hoping actually just to leave it as just the one instead of 3 parts, because what it's going to cover in the 3 parts are encouraging controlled breathing, using imagery, coming through hugging, and also maybe some tips and warnings again, like I did in the previous video if you've been watching it. So let's begin this. As you know, autistic meltdowns, as I've said so many times before, has been sometimes mischaracterized or misunderstood, or even just in general has been defined differently to others, and it gets so confused and marked up by people of the differentiation between the two of the tantrums and meltdowns. But then again, they tend to get mischaracterized as tantrums of the meltdowns, which can then be difficult and frightening to mostly autistic people, as well as to their housemates, caregivers, friends, family, whoever they're associating with at that given moment of time when they're happening. But by incorporating some of these techniques that I'm going to share with you all today, the household or wherever they may be can move past such of these episodes maybe more easily and freer. The affected person will feel more in control of themselves, as well as their feelings and reactions, as well as hopefully coming to trust that help will always be there for them regardless. So it's always important to actually be there for them. Okay, some of these techniques I'm explaining to you all will be used together to work to lessen the severity and frequency of these troubling episodes of the meltdown. So part 1 is encouraging controlled breathing. Number 1, teach the individual deep breathing exercises. Deep breathing inhibits adrenaline and oxygenates the brain. Use the following steps while the person is calm, so that when they're out of control and having that meltdown, the individual will be able to use these techniques to calm him or herself down. Teaching these techniques will then while the person is upset, however, will become more difficult through these, and it may not be impossible to actually manage them in the first place. So number one is to mirror the person basically while you do each step. Number two, breathe in through the nose slowly and eventually out of the lungs in full capacity. Number three, when the lungs are fully full, the stomach pushes out, so calling each breath a belly breath provides a concrete image that helps in visualizing the proper technique. Number four, hold the breath for a slow count to 5. Number 5, breathe out through the mouth, releasing the air slowly and evenly. Repeat this 5 times. 5 belly breaths, held for a count of 5, one group or a set. And number 2, basically, practice up to 3 sets of belly breaths 2 times each day. Do it once in the morning and once in the evening. Practice until the person can do the breathing independently. Number 3, use imagery during breathing. It will add to the calming influence of the breathing itself. So it will follow on to part 2, which is using imagery, which I'm illustrating now. Number 1, practice using imagery twice per day, every day. Once it's learned, it can be called upon as a sensory image when the person does become upset or out of control. Number 2, find out the colours, sounds and feelings the person may find peaceful. Focus on determining the particular colour of light that is calming. It is normally some uniform pastel colour. Number 3, write a script. It should consist of short lines which describes the process of walking towards the calming sound, perhaps a brook or ocean, and going towards the calming light. Describe how, as the person gets closer, the place becomes safer and safer. The light of a certain colour is welcoming, protecting and calming. Number 4, ask the person to shut his or her eyes. This will enhance their ability to imagine the situation that you're describing to them. However, don't force them into the situations they're uncomfortable with. Number 5, use a recorder to play his or her specific comfort sounds. This might be helpful during the breathing and a few minutes afterwards. Number 6, don't stop too early. Continue to talk about safety and light even after the breathing exercises have concluded. Continue as the person has visibly calmed down. Number 7, reverse the process. Continue the script, look away from the calming force, water for example, but remind the person that the light is now carried within. Calm begetting calm. Return to the beginning of the script, carefully reversing the dialogue. Number 8, ask the person to open their eyes. Ask them if they feel calmer or if they want to continue with the imagery and breathing techniques. Number 9, implement imagery beyond practice sessions. Use this technique once learned along with the deep breathing to bring calm in meltdown situations. Number 3, coming through hugging. This is not always guaranteed to work because, as I said before, that sometimes some autistics may not like the feel of being touched and whatnot. But again, it may pay to ask permission for the autistic if you can hug them and that or what have you. But be sure to know, the warning signs or cues when they're about to have a meltdown. Okay, so this is ensure that the person wants to be hugged. As I said, talk the person through the process prior to attempting any hugs. If trust is an issue or the child is young, demonstrate the process with another person. This may ease the child into understanding and offer comfort. Number 2, focus on the benefits. Explain that this type of hugging is very, very relaxing. However, avoid making them feel they have to do anything. No forced touch is preferable. Number 3, hug them if they want. You can do practice hugs during calm times and calming hugs during distressing times. Use this process. Number 1, approach the person from the back. Number 2, hold your upper arms out straight and forearms pointing at the sky upwards. Number 3, talk as you go through the entire experience so there are no surprises and everything is comfortable. Number 4, ask the person to put the arms at their sides. Number 5, using your forearms provide a moderate amount of pressure on the person's upper arms near the torso. Squeeze moderately for the count of 10, then release. Repeat this 5 times if you can. Number 4, ask the person if they want more hugs. If yes, repeat again for sequences of 5. Stop after the 3rd set if the person has asked for that many. Number 5, ask the person how he or she feels. If they feel calmer or like the hug, they may want more. If they don't, they may want to try something else. Number 6, repeat hugging if desired. Use this and any of the other calming techniques as necessary during meltdowns to help the person calm down, but continue practicing and doing it during the calmer times too. You don't want hugging to become associated with only meltdowns or distress. So my tips here is, number 1, put the 3 self-calming exercises that I've introduced to you all in the child's schedule or whoever and on their calendar. The goal is to make the exercises as welcoming and a normal part of the day, not a chore for them. And number 2, practice the controlled breathing deeply affects the outer as well, smoothing the meltdown experience and easing the handling of that experience. Number 3, do not stop the exercise because you think your child has it. Continued practice is necessary to keep these tools sharp for the time they are needed. Number 4. Over time, as the child grows, hugs can be modified into facing the person and as if in greeting, applying pressure to their upper arms. This modification will also need to be practiced also. Warnings, however, just to bear in mind. Number 1. When doing the initial hug routine and hugs during meltdowns, never put your head near the child's head. You and the child could be injured by head bumping, because as I said before, with the meltdown stages, they may lead to self-harm of some sort. Number 2, do not attempt these interventions during a meltdown unless they have been practiced ahead of time and they are well ingrained. Number 3, if you are uncomfortable using imagery or cannot maintain a steady voice, do not engage in this activity. Number 4, a clinician psychotherapist can establish deeper relational aid and is able to present appropriate guided imagery, even mild hypnosis, if indicated. Remember, there's nothing wrong with saying you are uncomfortable with any activity. Last but not least, never call a police if you cannot handle the meltdown, as it could result in trauma or death. Call a trusted caregiver instead to talk it out and actually go with it. So that basically ends on how to using the calming techniques for an autistic to help the autistic person. Give me the like for thumbs up for encouragement. Feel free to comment below. Feel free to basically comment below of any other techniques that you feel while you're in during, before and after your meltdown stages, so that we can actually engage together to know what works for each other and what not. Feel free to also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, AspieAnswersAll. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. Feel free to also, share these videos around to your family and friends. So, without further ado, do what you love what you do. Until next time, thanks for the support, and I'll see you all again.